Alright, hello everybody, my name is CulBlu and we are well into this game of game number 2 of Irresistible Stallions versus EverNova. My computer did crash, so I missed a few things in the band pick phase, so my apologies for that. If you guys want to check out more of that, you will have to Google that. No, I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. But for right now, we're going to go and jump back into the game since I'm all back up and I'm all ready to go. And looks like the picks came out to be, oh, there's an Ursa. Oh my gosh, I'm happy. Alright, sorry, I'm just a little bit excited as there's Ursa. Freaking Ursa bear, fuzzy wuzzy. Gotta love the fuzzy wuzzy play. But as far as the picks though, yeah, we got a Viper who ended up being picked up, so I think he can counter the OD mid, or potentially the Invoker mid, depending on who they decide to put there. Looks like Invoker's gonna be playing Suicide Lane, so that's okay. We also had Ursa, Zeus, and Vengeful Spirit. Moving to the side of Ian, they have the Skywrath Mage, OD, Beastmaster, Invoker, and also the Tusk. Like I said, if you guys are watching this in Dota TV, sorry for the redundancy. If you guys are watching this on the VODs later on, sorry for missing the ban/picks. And if you guys are watching this live, then, you know, yeah, there's some awkwardness because this whole entire thing just kind of disappeared. So, now we got all the awkwardness away. Let's go and do introductions on both teams. Starting from the side of Stallion, we have Ace playing that Viper. Moving on to the Undying all the way down bottom, or down mid, we see Party Bear playing Undying. And actually, I haven't seen a mid Undying in a little while, but I don't think he's a mid Undying. I think he's just coming here to make sure Zeus can have a good time mid. Moving on to these Ursa Warrior down bottom. We got Ursa being played by none other than Ice9. Ice9 gonna have a little bit of fun down there. And on the Zeus is right over there. We see ourselves Clark playing Zeus. The X might be able to kill. Yes, they will be able to get the kill. First blood going on top of Skywrath Mage. Nice little aggression coming out from these two. They did set up a nice little kill. The decays were stacking pretty high, and Zeus had the damage necessary to help him get the kill. So just level 2, able to get the kill. That's one of the fun things you can do with Undying that you can't really do with other supports, so to speak. You can just get really aggressive for no apparent reason. Speaking of getting aggressive for no apparent reason, Vengeful Spirit down bottom, she's about to lose her life. It's going to be a second death on the map right now, one for each team, but just basically supports dying. Skywrath Mage died on one side, turned around and got himself a kill on the other side on his girlfriend of all things. I'm so offended. I don't know if they're a thing, but they should totally be a thing because, you know, Vengeful Spirit. Anyway, they're going to go for Ursa, though. Ursa's going to be a little bit of trouble. Drops out the Fury Swipes. He's going to go ahead and turn around, be a man about it. He's going to try to go for a kill on top of Tusk. Tusk has Snowball available. He's going to probably wait till the last second. No, he's not going to be able to get it. He does go down, and now we got Ursa trying to go around for the kill. Just getting a little bit more damage on Invoker. He's going to be able to survive. Oh my god, he's going to eat a tree. Will he be able to get the kill? Oh, the Fury Swipe's not going to be enough. He is going to be going down. But it looks like Skywrath Mage is going to be the next one. Tombstone getting dropped down. Undying having the best of times right now. TP coming down for nobody. Vengeful Spirit, unfortunately, did not have enough gold for TP. And the Decay gonna be the last thing to go. Triple kill for the Undying, having a very fantastic start. He can actually continue along if he wants, but unfortunately his mana is a little bit on the low side. But just immediately 1k gold going towards Undying. That should be arcane boots if he wants those. A hell of a start if I didn't ever say so. So I'm definitely glad I came back in time for that, because that was pretty impressive. Anywho, continuing with the talks. Oh wait, no, I don't know if I can do that. Invoker is looking pretty dead here. Undying around the corner. He has the Decay. Doesn't really have anything else but the Decay. Vengeful waiting for the stun. If Invoker crosses this line, then he will officially be losing his life. And looks like, no, Vengeful Spirit comes out. Invoker noses up. He's going to go back the freak away. A very smart choice indeed, because you do not want to be caught in the middle of that. So, continuing with introductions, because before I was so rudely interrupted by all the deaths that were happening. Gosh, so rude. We see Derp playing that Skywrath Mage. On this OD, we see the one and only Chinese name number 1, because I can't pronounce that. I'm assuming that's Chinese, by the way. And on this Beastmaster, we see Chinese name number 2, because I can't pronounce that either. And on this Invoker, we see ourselves the one and only Let Me Go, playing that Invoker. And Tusk actually losing life. He's going to be losing his life here in the middle of everything. That is going to be at Hoke, or Ho-OK, playing that Tusk. And unfortunately, he did lose his life, so a very, very, very unfortunate series of events led to him dying. I don't know if he was able to get the rune he was trying to contest, but it looks like it wasn't worth it. If it was a rune he was contesting, he might have just been rotating from a gank. Moving over to the things that we see in the lanes, though, because we see a nice, interesting setup of lanes. Speaking of interesting lanes, we got Undying coming up. He's going to try to keep us out alive. Nice soul rip, trying to keep Viper alive for a little bit longer. Unfortunately, Viper does die. Tusk does TP up top, and Undying going to be able to get the kill on top of the Tusk. And now Undying is going to be stuck in the middle of it. The Tombstone did get beat down a little bit too fast for Undying's liking. Now Undying's going to be forced to stand and fight. Vengeful Spirit shows up with the Wave of Terror. They will be able to get the turnaround kill on top of the Beastmaster. Yes, they do get the kill. Undying, he does finally go down. And nice rotation coming up from Vengeful Spirit. Another TP coming in. Vengeful Spirit unfortunately has not enough mana for the secondary stun. It'll only be a Viper just hanging on by himself. But yeah, a lot of aggression going on in this game. These guys are pretty impressive with the aggression. I am well impressed. I am well impressed. Moving on to the other lanes down bottom. Invoker and Skywrath Mage is going to hang out together, looking like bros, matching the pictures in the mini-map. Ursa will be hanging around the corner, though. If they get the slow, I think they might be able to get the kill. It's like, no, Skywrath, he's just biding his time. Invoker not going to get in position. It's going to be a haste rune, unfortunately, picked up. And Ursa can actually turn this into a kill if he really wants to. Skywrath Mage a little bit far out of there. They should have seen it. They don't have a ward for it. Okay, yeah, they saw it around this corner. There's a ward vision around here for Skywrath Mage, but he's going to go on top of Invoker anyway. Invoker might be in a little bit of trouble. He does not have enough mana for anything, but looks like Zeus drops the ulti, so he did not have the invis invoked, but looks like he is going to be going down. Now Ursa's going to be able to get the kill. The haste runs out at a very awkward timing, and I think he should be losing his life here. Should be losing his life, eats a tree, going to eat a nice little thing, and he does fall down. The Spark Wraith, or whatever it's called. Spark Wraith? Arcane word? Arcane Bolt? Arcane Bolt was a little bit too much for Ursa to deal with. But overall, Ursa getting a nice little kill on that, almost able to get 2. Unfortunately, he did die, but once he reaches level 6, it's going to be a lot more dives. You just imagine this game so far with more dives. Like, we might as well have an Ice Stalker in this game, and an Enchantress, and a Chin, and a freaking Ursa at the same time. This is pretty impressive as far as how far they dove so far. Which is not very far, but that's not the point. The point is they can. Just because they can. So speaking of just because it can, Party Bear is hanging around the backside. Looks like he might want to go for a kill. Invoker getting the Valkyrie up, just trying to spam it out so he can get some more right click damage, and he might be able to get the cold snap on top of Ursa. It might be looking like a kill. It looks like Ursa's going to bait it out, and now Undying's coming around the backside. He's officially activated. He throws out Tombstone. They're going to go for the kill on top of Invoker. Invoker has enough to invoke the Invis. Looks like he's not going to. Instead, he's going to opt to run away. Teammates are coming in. Invis does go through, and looks like they're going to try to go for a turnaround kill. And Skywrath Mage getting slow, getting silence. Tombstone is in range here, so they need to back up. But looks like nobody's going to be able to get the kill. Another TP coming in from Tusk. These guys want to get aggressive on this. Tombstone will be down here, so they know Tombstone's down. So no true backfire because of the fact that so many people are down here. But at the very least, we see the rotations come through. So we'll see people die. We'll see lives be gone. Just the true question is how many people have to die before Viper gets farm. Speaking of which, Viper's actually doing not that bad up top lane. 20 last hits versus the Invoker's, what, 27 last hits? So, not too terribly far off, considering the fact that he's died twice. Invoker, he has died once. Oh no, he's died twice too. Okay. So yeah, they're both pretty much neck and neck. The mids are doing relatively well too. We got the OD sitting pretty nice and heavy with a 40 last hits. Zeus has 35 last hits of his own. Needs to be very careful though. We have a rotation gank coming in. There's an observer ward here for the Dire, so they are going to be able to scout out if there's any vision or any other rotations. And Zeus is going to play very far to this side because Tusk Snowball has a range of like what? I think like this or so from the high ground. Speaking of things from the high ground, Skywrath Mage waiting around the corner. They want to go for a kill on top of the Viper. It just might be a kill. It just might be the death of centuries. Speaking of death of centuries, Undying hitting on top, and also Vengeance Spirit here as well. She gets a stun. It looks like they had the vision. No, yes, they do have the vision. The stun did get dodged though. That's very unfortunate. Unfortunately, too many abilities going to get used. Meanwhile, top lane, we got Viper getting ganked. He's going to be going down, not having the best of times at all. Really wishes that Undying would TP up top, but unfortunately Undying is hanging out down bottom, trying to kill this pesky Invoker. Dirty Invoker pickers on the side of EN's side, but hey, what can you do? What can you do when Let Me Go gets the hero that he wants? He obviously does good. Hindsight 2020, right? So take a look at the items on the map. We see ourselves some very straightforward items. Undying, he does have the arcane boost that he pretty much could afford from like stage 1 because he was involved in so many kills. Actually got himself a triple kill very early on. Very impressive to see that. And now we got to actually, oh whoa, they're going for Roche. They're going for Roche around the corner. They did smoke gank up into this. It looks like Zeus is going to walk around the corner just to pick up the rune as standard. I don't know if anybody's going to know about this, but it looks like the negative armor is there. The Wave of Terror helping out with the kills. The Fury Swipes are there. Straight up Morbid Mask is all you really need. And now Ursa dropping that ulti just to make sure he has the extra damage resistance. Gonna be able to get the kill on top of Roche. Somebody should know about this by now. Unfortunately, Invoker doesn't have a Sunstrike available to drop. And now we got Zeus in a little bit of trouble. Zeus will be getting punched in the face a few times. I see the TP supports coming in immediately. Zeus will be not long for his worth though. He's actually on pop a haste rune. Beautiful time and dodges the OD ulti. Invincible Spear is level 6. This just might be a kill on top of somebody, but it looks like both sides will just be forced to disengage. Ursa walk around the corner. The big bad Mamba. He's gonna come around. He's looking for a kill. His ult is available in 20 seconds. Might want to wait for it. And it looks like we're getting to a stage of craziness. Undying has a tombstone available. Doesn't want to drop it just yet. They're going to instead go for a tower. Objective Gaming Boys. That's what they said. Meanwhile, up top, Skywrath Mage versus the Viper. Just gonna do a little tango with each other. And Viper gonna drop the ulti. Gonna try to go for the kill. Unfortunately, doesn't have enough damage to get the kill. Zeus. Oh no! Zeus ulti turning it around, and out of nowhere, Zeus Cena. So very nice play, very nice heads up play coming out from the Zeus, able to help the Viper get the kill. Otherwise, that Skywrath Mage would have TP'd away. And it would have been very unfortunate because that was a very nice setup from Viper. Speaking of nice setups, down bottom, Invoker is setting up to be that hand to minus annoying carry Invoker. So we're going to see him go for cross Exort. Yeah, cross Exort, so he can get the extra damage, extra punishments. Whenever people don't go to bottom to defend, he'll have the 2 forward spears and he'll be able to have the extra damage coming up from them too. If I'm not mistaken, apparently Wex Exort is a more effective carry Invoker, but I don't really know, so just going to go and stick with my guns and say cross Exort is going to be the one that we're going to see. Rotations do come down bottom. Observer from the Radiant going to be scouting that out completely. Nobody sneaking up on these two. And speaking of sneak up on these two, OD is actually going to head up top. If they can get a kill on top of the Viper, it will be great. They got a lot of very offensive, very deep wards placed over here by the Dire. The vision for them is actually fantastic. So they shouldn't be getting picked off for not nay bit of reasons. They are going to try to go for a kill up top on top of the Viper. There's 2 people, a Tusk and an OD. They should be able to have enough. TP support should be ready though, so they need to be very careful about that. We did have 2P scrolls on pretty much everybody, or the main people. Now they're going to go in on top of the Viper. Viper's going to be forced to back away. No TP's coming in, but Sunstrike's going to come through. Pure damage is pure damage. Not going to be able to do enough to kill the Viper. Very close to it though. And Undying shows up for the heal, just to make sure that Viper doesn't get hit with any further damage, and they continue on. So one thing that got picked up was the Ether Lens from Zeus. I love Ether Lens on Zeus. It gives him a lot of extra utility as far as being able to reach out further and touch you with his abilities, because, you know, Zeus the Pervert, that's what he does. Herbert the Pervert? No, Zeus the Pervert? I don't know. Anyway, down bottom, we got some accident happening. Ursa might be in a little bit of trouble. Gonna just be forced to run into the trees, trying to TP out of there. He will not be able to get out of there alive. He will, unfortunately, blow his ulti, or sorry, blow his TP while he was dead. And then Beastmaster showing up. He has his ulti available. No, he does. Oh, sorry, that's a Tusk. Beastmaster on the wrong side. Where's Beastmaster? There he is. Beastmaster did have his ult. They do go for the Ursa. Ursa eating some nice chunks of damage. He will be getting the kill almost on top of the Beastmaster. So close. Zeus drops the ulti. There's no walking away from this. You can't run from heaven, is what he says. Invincible going to try to turn around and get the stun. Fortunately, loses her life. And meanwhile, up top, OD working on that 4-step, and unfortunately might not be able to get it. He's going to be trying to TP around the corner. Viper and crew, they will be able to see it. Zeus. Oh, no lightning bolts. Very unfortunate. No lightning bolt came out for that one. It would have stopped the TP. Instead, they're going to go for the tower. It's going to be a tower for tower trade. And Ursa for Beastmaster, I definitely do think is well worth it. Gorgraf showing his back at the 0 mark. It was heavily in favor of Stallion because of that early triple kill from the Undying, but looks like it doesn't really matter that much because we're right back at 0. It's almost like nothing ever happened. It's like this whole entire early game, this laning stage thing you keep speaking of, nope, never happened. But yeah, both sides doing fantastic as far as keeping the rotations in. I do like the rotations so far a little bit better from Ian. I feel like they've been more, you know, more aggressive with their rotations. It hasn't been working out as that well for them, sure. I mean, they're down in the kill count, but the idea is still there. I like the fact that they're more ready to rotate in, which is, I guess, not that difficult, especially when you have someone like a Tusk who does really want to just be involved in every single fight possible because of Snowball and because of his ability to just block off people and just maybe smack somebody up in the sky. But for the most part, the rotations from Ian have been pretty much on point. Speaking of being on point, we got Invoker. He's going to be going down. Tries to drop out the Alcrity. Not going to be enough. He did not have enough gold to buy out for that recipe, though, so he does have a Tornado Stick get in the works. Buys a Sage's Mask, and we'll have the recipe here very soon. Now, Zeus and crew are going to go ahead and push a tower of their own. Top tower did go down. Top tower did go down for Stallion, so they were able to claim that gold. Bottom tower did go down in return for Ian, so they're able to get themselves the return gold. It looks like so far map control is not really in favor of either side. They both do have the same amount of towers. That mid tower, very important tower for people TPing in on the Dire side. Go to Roche Pit and just challenge it. Also the bottom tower too. But having this tier 1 tower down on the Radiant side, it kind of sucks. Because I mean, Ursa's not going to have the easiest to pass to the Roche Pit, but he wants to go for Roche, you know, every once in a while. Doesn't really want to go for every single time. Speaking of which, I want to check out his items because I want to see if he's actually going to finish out the full Vladimir's offering or if he's going to forego it and get a Blink Dagger. I do think Ursa kind of blows the game wide open once he gets something like a Blink Dagger, but he does have to kind of farm it up. I think it'll be wise for him to just go ahead and ignore everything and just kind of get that farmed up. So, Invoker's heading up top. He's going to be sitting there menacingly. Nobody's going to be going for that, but the whole entire Radiant squad are up here though. These guys want to go for something. They need to make this worth their while. They're trying to go for a 2-2 tower push, but they might be losing 2-2 of their own. Pings on top of the towers. We might see TP support come in here, try to protect the tower. Looks like it's going to be a 5v2 fight. Vengeance Spirit going to go ahead and walk on in. Gets the swap on top of Invoker. And now here's Invis. And here's also the Dust of Appearance coming out from two people. A little bit miscommunication. Meanwhile, Vengeance Spirit taking quite a bit of damage. She will not be going down. Tower not doing enough damage. Meanwhile, Ping on top tower. They're immediately saying, hey, we need to go for this. Ursa shows up for the fight. He's going to drop the ulti. Eats a nice chunk of damage. Beautiful timing on top of that. And he will be able to run back away. They will protect the tower. Get themselves a nice chunk of kills on top of the Invoker. But looks like no, Ursa loses his life and Zeus loses all of his mana. Oh no, not what you want to have happen. Zeus is actually in a little bit of trouble. Tusk very close to dying, gonna be able to heal up, but Beastmaster comes on the backside, says, bro, you ain't going nowhere. Zeus getting screamed on. He will be going down. Tusk snowballing forward because why not? And OD, he will be able to keep himself alive because of the Astral. So some very awkward fights, really, like truly awkward fights coming out for these guys. On the one hand, it was a kind of a good engagement for Stallion heading on the bottom lane of the Dire side. They were able to get themselves a kill on top of what, Tusk or Invoker? No, Tusk, Skywrath Mage. Oh no, what's happening? Yeah, they were able to get themselves a kill on top of Skywrath Mage, which is really nice, fairly good for them overall. But on this flip side, I mean, you kind of have to worry about the simple fact that they spent a lot of time with 5 people up top. It did cause them to take a little bit of damage on the tier 2 tower, and as far as the return damage, they didn't do that much. So economy damage is still there. They were spending a lot of time farming together. They were spending a lot of time hanging out, not really farming at all. And we'll see that in the gold graph, unfortunately. Very unfortunately. Also, the kills count through too, so sure. Meanwhile, Skywrath Mage and Ursa are going to go ahead and part their ways. Skywrath Mage needs to be a little bit careful though. He's a little bit too far in this jungle by himself to be doing some crazy nonsense. Zeus working on what looks to be a Force Staff. Nope, Yule Scepter. So he will begin the Yule Scepter just to give himself some extra mana regen. He's going to be the super nuky Zeus. Just like he plays this game, with nukes in hand. Invoker did finish himself up a Tornado Stick, and as far as the rest of the items on the map, because I want to see how these are evolving now, Vengeance Spirit is working on what looks to be a... Oh, wait, that was changed. Yeah, Vengeance Spirit is working on the Aether Lens, which now has a different build, which I just learned today. But Aether Lens is built with a energy booster and a Ring of Health, because it gave a little bit too much utility. I agree. The match was just a little bit too much. But she will begin her Aether Lens, so she got the extra range. So same thing for Zeus. And it looks like we're going to see a tower trade here. This is not going to be going down without much of a hitch. It's going to be a tier 2 for a tier 2. Tier 2 mid a little bit less important than a tier 2 bottom for the Radiant. So that's going to be a little bit harder of a path for the Ursa to actually transition into the Roach Pit or rotate into the Roach Pit. And actually, Ursa's taking quite a bit of damage. I'm almost going down. Needs to be very careful. But they're going to ping it. They're going to push it. They're going to press it. They have the Necro units available. They have them for a few more seconds to try to get as much right-click damage as they possibly can on top of the tier 3 tower. And it will be forcing it right back. Meanwhile, Vengeance Spirit actually dies around the corner. She's not going to be able to TP out of here. Zeus trying to get some more damage on top of the Tusk, but not going to be able to do enough. And now the whole crew just backing on up. So overall, the trades definitely go in their favor of EN. You call it what you want. They lost a person or two, but at the very least, they got some damage on the tier 3 tower. They also claimed the tier 2 tower, and they're making it harder. Excuse me, they're making it harder and harder for Ursa to have fun in this jungle. You see a lot of wards getting placed in jungle. This is not necessarily the usual placements. They're just trying to make sure that whenever Ursa decides to start rotating, that they can spot them out. I'm not sure if they're going to invest in putting something like a Sentry Ward over here, or maybe a Sentry Ward over there. But at the very least, they can make sure they can keep an eye and keep a tab on when Ursa's going to start rotating towards the Roach Pit, because Ursa's game still relies around the Roach Pit quite heavily. And gold-wise, item-wise, you see Ursa did in fact decide to go for the Blink Dagger, so he did not finish up the Vladimir's offering. He did go for the Blink Dagger, which I like a lot. Speaking of liking things a lot, Zeus is hanging up top. He's going to be going down. He's trying to TP out, but he gets tornadoed up. Skywrath Mage's ulti unfortunately coming at a very awkward timing, but Invoker's going to be able to blow him up. No, oh, beautiful counter tornado coming out from Zeus, but he's going to lose his life just trying to stall as long as possible. Hashtag waste his time. Hashtag waste his time. Vengeance Spirit going to be getting scouted out here soon by Tusk. No, Smoke not going to get okay. And Observer Ward getting placed around the corner. I don't know if they saw that. I think the Hawk saw it. And now I'm dying. Oh, they see somebody going for the boundary room. This might be a kill. This is going to be easy kill. Ursa, he's going to go for the roast instead. Looks like no, he's going to be forced to go for the Tusk kill. Tusk needs to die immediately. I think Ursa needs to get Basher too. But anyway, all that aside though, Tusk's going to go ahead and snowball in on Ursa. He's going to be dying, sacrificing his life for his cause. And he will lose his life. But now they know that Roach is being done. I think a little bit out of position. Beastmaster does not necessarily have the Blink Dagger necessary to jump into the middle of this fight. And these guys don't have the damage necessary to actually fight Roche. At least not kill him fast enough. They need a little bit more time, a few more Fury swipes, and then Roche might actually be a killable thing. Looks like objective game is going to be the thing on these guys' minds. They're going to go ahead and try to press the fact that they can go for mid-tower. Wow, really. OD unfortunately not getting any luck. Not getting any luck at all with his spell. spell proc. There's a 40% chance and he got none of that. That's pretty ridiculous. I would be pretty upset if I was OD. Rotation still coming through in the jungle. Ursa, Blink Dagger still available. Zeus just juking his ult a little bit. Dropping a few lightning bolts. De-warding. Very nice de-wards. And, oh, Beastmaster. Beastmaster dying down bottom. Ursa able to get the kill on him. Got the jump. Literally on him. Drop out the Fury Swipes. Drop out the Blink. And just suddenly Beastmaster's dead. Gets smashed into the ground. And we will see Roshan get punched in the face a million times. Hawk dies, but it's not before scouting out the fact that these guys are in Roche Pit. Tusk can get a beautiful snowball if they get vision. They do get vision from the Sunstrike, but it's going to be a little bit mistimed. Ursa going to be forced to back away, though. The whole entire team are waiting behind him, and the creeps actually are here scouting it out. So good job, creeps. Sigil will be scouting out the Roche Pit, just seeing how low Roshan is. They're going to try to time it well. They will be able to time it well enough to force Ursa to take a ton of damage. He's actually might be going down here. Ursa will be, oh man, Ursa will be dying to the OD hammer, and now he's going to be feeling very sad about that, but OD is going to be stuck on the high ground. They're going to swap him to the low ground so he can get the right clicks. OD will be able to astral. The damage will be coming through here in a few seconds. Nice Veil of Discard coming out from Skywrath Mage, and he's going to get a little bit of damage to top of the Zeus, get a little bit more damage to top of the Zeus. Zeus actually a little bit, or just a little bit over half HP. Run out of mana as well. A lot of damage coming towards Viper. He will be dying, lose his life in a very uncustomary fashion. Meanwhile, Vengeance Spirit stuck on the high ground trying to solo all these peoples. Too many peoples come into her. No Aghanim Scepter for her, unfortunately, so she's not going to be able to do anything with that. And now, wow. Ian going to be able to steal the Roshan from Stallion. Not going to be feeling too happy about that. They don't necessarily have the best of Roshan teams, but they do have more than enough damage to finish that off, and all the space in the world. And item-wise, I saw a Blink Dagger on Tusk, which is actually very, very, very good. He can blink in Snowball and just save somebody's life, or just blink Snowball straight up. Also a Blink Dagger on Invoker and a Blink Dagger on OD, so a lot of mobility coming out from Stallion's lineup. And now Tusk might be able to find himself a solo kill on top of the Zeus. Looks like OD's going to show up to steal some intelligence, and he steals a right click, or he steals the last hit. So OD item-wise, I don't know if he's going for a Shiva's Guard or if he's going for a Scotty. I would like to see a Scotty. I think Scotty would be cool. But a Shiva's Guard, not Shiva's Guard, Sheepstick. Sheepstick will be really nice as far as disabling someone like an Ursa when these fights do break out. It's going to force Ursa to buy something like an Axe. Speaking of buying things, oh my gosh, Viper, you need to buy yourself more life, bro. Taking so much damage from the combination from Invoker. He doesn't have an Aghanim Scepter, but just being able to drop the combination just a little bit too strong. Unfortunately, Viper has what? Does he have? He only has 3 points inside of corrosive skin, but it doesn't matter much when you're dead. Ouch. Gotta be a really tough fight. Invoker dishing out what? A whole entire 962 damage? Plus 15 damage from the Hawk? What? Probably the boar. Probably the boar. So Vladimir's offering fully finished up on Ursa. I don't know if this is a game where Ursa needs to get an Aghanim Scepter, but it would be nice to have one, especially when Beastmaster is dropping roars on you. So we'll see how Ice9 decides to itemize himself. As of right now, though, I think his next item should probably be something like a Basher, maybe even an Aghanim Scepter he wants to get all defensive, or even an BKB if he wants to start building that up. Make sure you can get those right clicks in. Zeus, on the other hand, I've seen Zeus's go for Octarine Cores. I've also seen them go for Bloodstones. I think Octarine Core would be a good idea in this game, mainly because you are going against you do have some relatively lengthy team fights. OD just kind of wants to right-click you and drop his ult. So that means that you can kind of heal yourself up a little bit, just dropping a few of those abilities, and it just gives you extra sustainability between the fights if you can actually make it out of there alive, because the regen is actually pretty good. Speaking of regen, I saw a mechanism. I think it's on Undying. So he is going to be working for the Guardian Greaves, which would be a fantastic item for him to pick up. And speaking of fantastic item for him to pick up, Zeus is going to be up top, hanging out all by his lonesome. Hopefully he doesn't TP out. He's going to go and Tornado up the Tusk and pop the Haste Rune and continue to run. OD come around the backside. Oh no, this will be an Astral just in time. Zeus has no Blink Dagger. Looks like Zeus is going to be forced to stand still. He's going to try to run as fast as he possibly can, and he gets purged off of the Haste, and he will be getting blown up right now by the Invoker. The mechanism coming through, but not fast enough. Zeus does lose his life. Zeus does lose his life in the field of battle, and the rotation is just a little bit too strong. And like I said, the rotations from Ian even though they were down at that stage in the game when I called it, they seem to be on point. They seem to have the right number of people at the right place. Whereas Stallion are kind of playing a more reactive game, which is, it makes sense. They have an Undying. He just kind of wants to, have the fight happen, drop a Tombstone, and then have you stay there while the Tombstone's killing you. So they have a relatively speaking reactive team. They have the swap. They have the Undying ability. They have the Viper, who's kind of really passive. As a hero, he's just a very passive person who doesn't really do anything until you start killing him. So I would kind of expect Ian to be the initiators in a lot of these fights, especially since they have a Tusk. But given the fact that a lot of their initiations have been paying off pretty well, just kind of tells you why Stallion are not having the best of times right now. The goal going heavily in favor of Ian. They do have the better map control. And oh, also don't forget the fact that Stallion do have the Ursa, who really kind of wants to get an Aegis right now. Roshan is going to be back up here in what, another 2 minutes, 3 minutes? Ursa really wants to be ready for that, but he can't really be ready for that when he's dying so many times. Speaking of dying so many times, fight's going to happen around the backside. Zeus going to be getting swapped out by the Vincer. Beautiful night, or beautiful play. Make sure her source of damage can actually stay alive. Zeus dropping the ulti. So much damage coming towards Tusk, and Tusk actually might be going down. The Arcane Rune not going to be enough. Sorry, not Arcane Rune, the Aetherlin's not going to be enough, and Zeus will tornado himself, and he will be able to get the follow kill. No, the follow kill not going to happen. Meanwhile, Aegis does get popped. OD going to be continuing the fight, and Tusk still alive somehow on the backside. And now we got OD going toe-to-toe with Ursa, who cannot do enough damage. Ursa might be in the middle of everything. He's going to go and pop the ulti. He thinks he's going to be facing some incoming damage. We'll be able to face a few right clicks. Gets the ulti off, or sorry, ulti coming out from OD. Ursa about to be losing his life though, so he needs to continue to get the right clicks. Tusk somehow still in the back of this, doing so much work, make sure he stays relevant in this game. And Zeus trying to drop a few nukes on top of his head. And the fight just kind of got scrappy very fast, but the main thing is that Ursa lost his life. Ursa losing his life and OD losing his life, those are two key things, but Ursa lost his life and more. So Stallion ultimately lost more in that fight. Vince's Spirit even died in that one. So the gold exchange going in favor of Ian, despite the fact that they had the more farmed heroes, so that means when OD did die, I don't know if he gave up a killing spree, but yeah, oh no, he did not. Yeah, he did give up a killing spree. Or he actually, no, he didn't give up a killing spree. He gave up 657 gold though. So I think that's because of his levels, which he's level 17, which is pretty darn high. But that ulti did do a lot of work on top of Ursa. It did cause him to, lose all his mana, so no more Furious Swipes, which means he couldn't heal up as fast. So nice play, nice play. Take a look at the rest of the items on the map. We got the Blink Dagger for Tusk, Force Staff as well, so he's trying to channel his inner Bat Rider. We also have the Booster Travel up on the Invoker, plus a Blink Dagger. He's working on the Aghanim Scepter next, so he can just be that much more annoying. Speaking of being annoying, though, we got a Regen Rune, was picked up by Tusk. He's nice and healthy. He's going to run around the corner. He's not going to find anybody. See if he can get a pick off. And I do just want to take a moment to just observe all of the vision that Ian have for free. They have the Tusk Frozen Sigil, they have the Beastmaster Hawk twice, if they do, or if he does time it right. He also has the board, which can scout out all over the place. I mean, just Necro units too. Just so much vision, so many units. They can just see anything around the map. So Stallion are kind of getting choked out in the sense that they're getting spotted out and caught out. Speaking of caught out, we'll see if Zeus dies here. No, he's not going to. Oh, also another thing to note, I do think Zeus should get himself a Blink Dagger. I would love to see a Blink Dagger on Zeus in this game. I know I already said, what's this thing? Octarine Core would be nice, but Blink Dagger would be nice too, just to make sure he can keep up with the mobility coming from Ian, because we did see him unable to get that kill on top of Tusk a little while ago, and because he didn't kill Tusk, Tusk actually came back and helped them kill the Ursa. So having Zeus being able to finish people off, it would be a lot more valuable, especially if you had the mobility. So hopefully he gets that. Speaking of getting that, we got Zeus getting caught in the ice shards. He will be fine though. Oh, the swap coming through. They're going to go for the Invoker. Dust Appearance getting popped immediately. Now Invoker, he can actually tornado himself if he really wants to, but taking so much damage, he goes down. Ursa drops the ulti a little bit too early. They're going to go for the kill on top of Skywrath Mage. He's going down. Tombstone gets used as well. It looks like Tusk's going to be forced to back away. Zombie's chasing him. Zombie does not chase him far enough. And Tusk breaking vision. Going to be able to blink here in a second. No, the blink gets put on cooldown. He gets stunned up. Ursa coming in. He wants to kill. Fuzzy Wuzzy not going to be able to get it. And it looks like this should be time for them to go for Roche. Roshan's not going to be up for another, what was this, 30 seconds, 15 seconds? Hawk going to scout it out immediately. But this should be an opportunity for them to go immediately check Roshan and see if they can get it. They're pinging that bottom tower. They want to get themselves some objectives. They are fighting from behind in this game, over a 10k gold advantage in favor of EN. But they do also have the fact that they did just win a team fight, so might as well claim as many objectives as possible. No Raxes have died, which is a very key thing. If you have Raxus down, that usually means that you're probably going to be on the back foot for a very long time. But I have seen teams win back from that. Ursa working on the BKB, so that will be his next item. Unfortunately, no Aghanim Scepter shenanigans. Sheepstick was fully finished up on top of OD, which would be nice as far as making sure Ursa can't get all crazy in his face. Yeah, sure, you got 80% damage reduction, but who cares if you're a sheep, or a piggy, or a frog, or chicken. Meanwhile, Beastmaster ulti getting roared. Somebody getting roared. That's a Vision Spirit getting wrecked pretty hard. But that means that Beastmaster ulti will be down. Ursa can actually have free reign if he wants to go into this fight. But looks like instead, Undying is going to take so much damage. He actually drops his ulti, makes sure he can stay alive. But sadly, he does go down at the end of the day. Tornado coming up on top of Zeus, trying to keep himself alive in this fight. He will be able to turn around, drop a few nukes on top of Tusk. But Tusk has a little bit too much HP for him to deal with, and Zeus does go down. And where the heck is Ursa in this fight? Ursa's all the way over here trying to GFOT. They do not want to die right now. Viper working on a BKB of his own, so looks like we're just trying to farm some BKBs. I think Ian just had the better chase on that whole entire fight. I mean, they had the Tusk with the snowball and just a persistent chase. And I keep thinking Beastmaster's Tusk. They also killed the Vision Spirit to make sure that nobody can get saved with the swaps. And Invoker Tornado. He hasn't even been using it. Just been going for the straight up Sunstrike Meatball Deafening Blast combination. Just trying to blow up as many people as possible. Speaking of blowing up things, this just might be a blown up tower. A fortified is available. This is going to be up in 12 seconds, as well as his ulti in 42. So if they can hold this fight, if they can hold this tower, they will do well. Undying is alive, which is the main important thing. His tombstone will come up here in 5 seconds. I think they need to go ahead and fortify, and they will. So tombstone will be available. Undying probably going to place it in a very advantageous spot. Probably like right about what? Let's say over there. There would be a good spot. Actually, no, probably over there. Somewhere where you're just aqua friendly to get. Looks like Ian are going to be content with taking one tower and backing away. Dropping an observer ward. They did scout it out and will be getting killed immediately. And the creep shall push. Got it. Meanwhile, Roshan is up. He has cheese as well, so this will be the third Rosh of the game. We'll see who decides to kill what and when and where and how. If, then, ever, whatever, duh. Veil Discord was picked up on Skywrath Mage. I didn't talk much about it, but it really does help out. If you have somebody like Skywrath Mage picking up a Veil Discord, that gives him some extra sustainability as far as his mana pool. It also increases his damage, and I think it gives you regen too, does it? Yeah, it gives you HP regen, so it gives him a lot of extra sustainability. And on top of that, that frees up a slot for OD, so OD doesn't have to get it, and OD just suddenly does a ton more damage when he drops his ult. So overall, a very good item for him to pick up. Beastmaster, he does have a Ghost Scepter. He's fearing the fact that Ursa can just wreck his face. Speaking of wrecking faces though, Roshan, he's going to get his face wrecked pretty darn hard. He's going to be going down here. I don't think there's really much as far as the rating can do. At least they can't do it fast enough. BKB fully finished up on Viper, but this will be Aegis on top of OD. He will have a very fantastic fight the next game. At least it's assumed that he will. And Beastmaster going to pick up the cheese. Okay, he has a slot available. I think I should give him to Invoker. Speaking of which, Invoker has the Aghanim up there, so he has more spells. Now, other items that people can try to go into, because I always love speculating what items people will go for, and I feel like the greatest person in the world when I call it. But I think Octarine Core would be cool for Invoker. I don't know if it's something he's going to get, but it'll help him scale his damage. And speaking of scaling his damage, Skywrath Mage actually gets eaten alive. He gets obliterated in the mid lane by the combination of Vision Spirit and Ursa. They are pinging on top of Ursa. They want to go for the kill. Ursa need to back up, bro. He's getting a little bit too greedy. None of his team are around here. He's going to get turned into a piggy immediately and gets hit with a bunch of abilities. He goes down. Zero chance. His team was just completely out of position to actually help him out. Speaking of helping him out, Beastmaster going to be forced to drop out the roar. Vision Spirit might be the next kill here. She gets hit with the tornado to keep herself alive for just a few more seconds. Mechanism, beautiful timing on top of that. And she's not going to be able to make it alive though. Double kill is going to be going towards the Invoker. They're pinging on top of the Tombstone immediately. Undying not able to get the Soul Steal or Soul Rip in time on top of the Tombstone. Now BKB getting popped by Viper. He's going to just turn around immediately. Just do as much damage as possible to the Invoker. And now Tusk and crew, they will be able to back away. And the BKB is going to be on cooldown. Ursa BKB is fully finished up. He unfortunately did not have a chance to use it in the last fight, but hey, it's up, it's fully charged and ready to go. The Viper able to force these guys back, but OD should be able to get healed fully up, and he still has Aegis, so don't forget that. But these will be bottom racks going down here very soon. Undying does not have a Tombstone available. Probably one of their bigger abilities that they need to make sure they can hold the fight. And we're just going to see a classic Siege Invoker's Forward Spirit just making it the hardest of times. Speaking of the hardest of times, somebody getting forced down to the very best fight. Zeus, he might be going down. He does not get turned to a piggy. He actually tornadoes himself. Beautiful timing on the heal coming from Undying. Undying turns around, gets a nice little soul rip on top of nobody. Sorry, not Zeus. I thought he got on somebody else. But OD comes back into the fight. BKB gets popped by Ursa. He wants to go for kill. He's going to be getting his time wasted by the Invoker. Hashtag waste his time is what he said. And now he's going to turn around, trying to go for more kills. He's getting slowed up. OD and crew, they're going to get surrounded. And oh no, Ursa, you're officially in a bad spot. He officially goes down, overextending his welcome. The chase Ace is going to come through, though. The whole entire raiding squad are in for vengeance. Tombstone gets dropped by Undying. There should be a kill on top of Tusk, but Tusk has a snowball available. He's going to actually snowball immediately on top of a dead corpse, and Viper will lose his life here. This will be a follow-up kill and a very horrible fight coming up for Stallion. What should have been a fantastic fight in their favor just turned completely sour really fast. I mean, it all kind of started with Ursa overextending just a little bit, but the BKB went down at the wrong time. Ursa ulti was on cooldown, and yeah. And see, that's what makes it a little bit difficult. Like, as an Ursa, when you know you have this much magic damage coming to you, because pretty much all the damage coming from Ian is magic. The only person doing right-click damage really is Invoker right now, just to try to keep him honest with the Forge Spirits and whatnot. But if you have this much magic damage to you, do you just go ahead and drop your BKB first, and then, try to survive it, and then drop your ult? Or do you drop your ult first, try to survive it, get hit with a bunch of CC, and then drop your BKB? I would assume that you want to drop your ult first, get all the nukes out on top of you, and then drop your BKB afterwards and just try to go for all the right clicks. I'm assuming that's what he wants, but then again you have to worry about OD's ult, which just drains all the mana. Very annoying to deal with. Speaking of being annoying to deal with, 4 staff in 3 directions. Ursa gonna go and blink forward. He drops his ult, he drops his BKB as well. Just time hashtag getting wasted. Needs to be very careful about this. OD is gonna be the next one to follow up. He does get smacked into the ground. Zeus dropping the ulti as well, just to make sure he can actually continue secure the kill. And now we got the zombie chasing itself a wild Tusk, and Tusk will be going down here in a few seconds. Beastmaster drops a roar on top of the Ursa. Ursa will be going down here in a very fantastic fashion. Unfortunately for him, he did not have his ulti available, and once again, people are getting smacked into the ground. Viper going to be the last one to survive, who's still fighting. Zeus is around the corner somewhere over the rainbow, but he's going to run as far as he possibly can. And now we got BKB forced out from Viper. He's forced all the way back. Trying to work on the Mantis style so it can be a little bit more threatening. Speaking of being a little bit more threatening, Invoker does not scout. Oh no, he scouts out the Zeus. Zeus, you just might be dying here. Zeus has the blink dagger available, so he needs to blink immediately. Invoker has the tornado invoked up. It's going to be here in 2 seconds. Zeus can TP out now. The Invoker vision should be there, so Invoker should see. And they're going to see him around the corner. Looks like Invoker has a cold snap available. Zeus can tornado himself now if he wants to. Tornado now or forever hold your peace, bro. But he does get hit with the punch, and tornado not coming through. Unfortunately, Zeus is going to lose his life as well. Meanwhile, top tower is just going to be going down. Swap from Crimson Spirit once again on top of Skywrath Mage. Skywrath Mage taking a ton of damage. Force staffs himself out. Taking a lot of damage though, so he still should be going down. And VS can't really do much. Creeps are pushing into the base. The super creeps are ready to tear down your E-Figgies. Oh no! Shoot! Arrow hits arrow. Dies. Typical freshman. So yeah, I think this game is pretty much in the bag for Ian. This is their game to lose. BKB once again getting popped by Ursa as well as the ulti. I think it's a little bit misnomer on that. I think he needs to use either one or the other, not both at the same time. But hey, hindsight's 2020. Vincent Spirit dropping a stone on top of a creep. Don't think we didn't see that, bro, because we got Hawkeyes over here. Meanwhile, Viper getting 4 staffed out. He's going to go ahead and turn around, try to go for a kill on top of the Invoker. Somebody getting blown up. That's a Vincent Spirit about to lose all her mana. She does lose all her mana. Pops a magic wand. Unfortunately, not going to be able to get close enough to drop the stun, and she does die. And the buyback immediately coming out from Vincent Spirit. The whole entire Stallion squad going for one last hurrah. Will they be able to get a kill is a big question. It looks like the answer is not quite. Ursa working on a basher. That would have been a very nice item for him to have last time around. But hey, can't have everything. And Ursa gonna go and pop the ulti, go forward, just do a little bit of damage. Tusk snowballing immediately, punching Ursa in the back, and then running away. And here comes a lot of damage coming towards Beastmaster. Zeus can actually follow up and get the kill if he can get a few more abilities on. He does get the ulti off, and now we got the EMP coming up from Invoker doing so much damage to Zeus as far as his mana economy. And then Viper is trying to keep himself alive. He does go down to Skywrath Mage. Vincent Spirit trying to continue with the fight. These guys are still very scrappy. Stallion still has some fight in them, but still, it's going to be a hell of a fight if they want to try to win this game back. Speaking of winning this game back, Undying, he's going to be getting smacked into the ground. Going to be going back to the place that he came from, which is the grave. And this should be Raxus for these guys. Mega creeps are coming in here in a few seconds. And Ursa gonna go and blink in. GG's getting caught out by the Viper. And Ursa immediately going down. He actually gets himself a kill. And he might be able to get himself a follow kill. Yes, no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. And GG well played. That's gonna be it for the game, guys. Stallion not able to take the game. Ian taking the game right from under their teeth. And that's it. So, interesting game. We got to see Ursa get played, which makes me happy. But unfortunately his team did not win, which makes me sad. So at the end of the day though, that was a very interesting game to watch. I like the fact that Ursa was as in your face as he was. I don't think he had the supporting cast for it though. I think if Tusk and Ursa were on the same team, that might be a very dangerous combination. So something to look forward to. Anyway, all that aside though, my name is CulBlu. Just watch you guys this game in the JoinDota League, the second game for the day, or first game that I'm casting today, the only game I'm casting today, but second game for the series. Unfortunately, you won't be able to see this the first series for me, the first game for me, but feel free to check out the rest of the VODs because they will be on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/CulBluDota. That's CulBluDota. You can also check me out on my live stream when my computer's not crashing, which is twitch.tv/CulBlu. That's CulBlu. And that's it. That's a wrap. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, I will see you guys whenever.